Good morning, guys. Excuse me for the very sparse B-roll, but we've been marching up the top of Loughrigg Fell. I'm a bit annoyed because I kind of followed a nap I don't normally follow rather than where I've been before, so I think we've actually gone round where we want to be, which is not the easiest when you're up at 3 in the morning to get to a 4:45 sunrise. A sunrise is happening, and actually the place I was going to be, there would have been no cloud, so not the end of the world. We're going to go and have a look at that soon, because just behind you is Lake Windermere and there's a view looking across down onto it, but I'm looking to the west. If you imagine that Windermere is north, I'm not sure wherever it is. So just found this little outcrop of rocks. It's a really lovely sky up above. There's a bit of mist hanging in the air and it's looking good. I mean, I'm out of breath. Yeah, so the 3 o'clock alarm was tough, but this time of year that's what you need. Wild camping is what you need, but I'm with my lovely wife who wouldn't wild camp with me, and I don't blame her, so this is going to be a shot for October. But I may have got an half decent shot of Loughrigg Fell, so not the end of the world. As I'm walking along here, I've just seen a buzzard take off. There's not a soul about, as you can imagine, and it's just, again, the most peaceful place to be in the world. So let me show you what I'm looking at. So the sun is just rising and we've got a beautiful bit of red and magenta and orange in the clouds behind this mountain. So let me just have a look now. There we go. So the composition is this big rock, and then we're going to go move along the fence line over to this rock. There's a tree in the centre here, and then above it behind it we've got the hills, and behind that we've got this lovely sunrise. So we're going to shoot long, and I'm gradually going to work in with the composition just to cut out bits I don't need, just to make this really work. Right, away we go.
So this should really have been the picture, and I remember at the time thinking I'll include the bracken or the brown bits in the mid-ground here just to add a bit of interest to the eye, but all it does, I think, is just cuts the picture in half. A better image would have been from the rocks on the mid-ground on the left there looking down into the valley. So the composition for me just doesn't work, it doesn't flow, and this picture doesn't work because of it.
What have we got here? 1 second at f13. There was a brief flash of light. Actually, it's back again. It's just coming out again. I've taken a wide one and I've zoomed in a little bit, and the clouds actually are looking really nice. I'm not being bowled over by this, but actually it's because I think I'm not used to this screen, and the settings I've got it on make it very flat. Certainly what I'm looking at through the camera is not what I'm seeing here, and therefore not what I'm going to be seeing on the actual finished picture. There's another picture here I can now see, which is portrait. So I'm just going to flick the camera around and we're going to shoot another picture this way with this little outcrop of rock, and then to the behind it is another rock which looks very similar.
And this was my favourite photo of the day. As it turns out, I really like the atmosphere of this. I like the haze, the other side of that little promontory there, the sunrise light, the clouds looking great, and the composition for me also works.
So I've come down the fell a little bit, and I'm still looking at working on this scene here. So there's an outcrop of rock, and then another one, and then a fell, and there's some trees and a wall going through. In fact, let me just show you what I'm looking at in the camera. And what I'm interested in is shooting this as a square, and as you can see I've composed it so that the ground is really low in the frame. It's all about this line of sky, this line of clouds here, which is just picking out. There's little kind of, if you can see on the corner here, little bits of orange which you get at sunrise, and that'll actually, if I crop, I'm thinking cropping it kind of like that, and kind of like that. I think that's going to look all right. It's going to be very different, which I quite like, something a bit more original. So still some nice light over here, so we're going to do one more with this bit of big rock. I'm going to lower the tripod down just to get a bit more of this and cut out maybe some of the grass needs cutting out. There's some lovely trees, and I can see loads of pictures with a big telephoto lens, which I haven't got at the moment. But really pleased with this, with my setup now. And I've carried this backpack, this rucksack, for ages, and I'm still feeling fine. So the change in the camera system has been a really beneficial thing for me. I've really enjoyed it. I think I've made some good decisions, so that's good news. Okay, so last shot before we move over to the lake. I find it easier to work through the EVF than the back of the screen. We're shooting f13 and we're now on a half a second, so I've got this dead bracken, there's a fern here that's sticking up which looks quite good, a rock, and then the sunrise, which is actually hanging around today. It looks all right actually, and that's really nice. I like that. The composition pleases me. I'm kind of it feels quite balanced, even though there's a lot of space on the right, but there's a tree in the bottom here which is kind of just holding it. This looks lovely. I'm just worried about burning out the sky. I switched to matrix metering because I wasn't trusting the meter. I had no kind of clue what was going on with the highlight metering, but that was telling me. I mean, what it does, obviously, it keeps this sky from burning out. Oh, you must have pressed OK, which annoys me as well. So I'm going to turn it back to highlight metering now, and that's telling me that that's way overexposed. But of course, if I get the sky looking, I mean, even with the sky, I don't really like that, because the sky now is perfectly exposed. If anything, it's too dark. But that means that the shadows just look hideous. So I don't want to lose the colour in the clouds, although that's kind of gone a little bit now. But also there's some subtle things in the shadows, and I don't want to lose those either. So I think I'm going to switch back to matrix metering because I feel kind of happier with that. As I said on a previous vlog, we've got no histogram up on here. I need the level a lot, and I'd like the histogram as well. Now I know the new Z8 has got that, but there's no way I need that camera at this moment, so we'll have to work with it. I might just put the 24 to 200 on. There's some really lovely mist in the distance and trees and stuff, and it just looks really nice. So maybe actually back to the top of this bit of this little ridge here. 24 to 200 on, do a couple of telephoto shots, then I'm going to move. So if you see behind me, I'm going to move to the top of that ridge there, because behind there is Lake Windermere. Oh, so it's the final shot of the day. We're over looking Lake Windermere. As you can see, there's not a great deal of cloud. So I'll admit this morning I was initially annoyed, because I've been on the ridge line that way overlooking the lake, and it's the perfect viewpoint. And we walked up here in the dark, and we both said, me and my wife both said, I'm sure we went that way last time, but we decided that we'd follow the All Trails app, which is a great app, to be fair, for following trails. But unfortunately it took us to Loughrigg Fell at the top, and Loughrigg Fell is not really where you want to be to get this viewpoint. So midges are out in force. So I should have gone with my instincts, so I was annoyed. But that said, the light was best where we were before. So in actual fact, I mean, I would have got a picture from here, no doubt, somehow, but the actual picture I got from over there was quite decent. There would not have been a decent picture with Windermere. The sunrise is in the wrong place. My preparation's not been the best, but I mean, we got up early, we've been here, we've done it, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm just going to shoot this now, just as a picture really. I'll show you it, and then I'm going to get the telephoto out. There's some lovely trees in the valley which look beautiful with a little bit of mist hanging around them, so we'll do that. And then we're going to call it a day. Might even have breakfast in Ambleside, so that'll be lovely. Go home tomorrow. We're going to put the cameras away now. I think that will be my end of my Lake District spring tour, which I hope you've enjoyed following along. If you haven't seen the rest of the videos, there's a playlist at the end of this for you to have a look at. Go and check them out. So until next time, everybody, 6 o'clock next Sunday. Who knows where I'll be, but I'll be here. And I'll see you then. You take care. Goodbye.